ready while we do a little pregnancy update. I'm currently 24 weeks pregnant. I guess we can go back and recap a little bit. This pregnancy has been completely different than my pregnancy with Casey. I am having a girl this time, but my pregnancy with Casey was such a breeze. Like, literally everything was just perfect. This go around, sister has just been putting me through it. She quite literally does not care. It's her world. I'm just here to grow her. I meant to put a little bit of foundation on before I started rubbing that in. Sister started with her dramatics right off the bat. I found out I was pregnant. I was like 4 weeks pregnant. Which that's one thing that I don't understand. I don't understand why pregnancy is calculated the way that it's calculated. I'm no doctor. I dropped out of college. She started her dramatics on Christmas Day. I started bleeding. I started spotting. I never spotted with Casey. Of course, I immediately freaked out because I have had a miscarriage in the past, but I didn't bleed with that miscarriage either. My first appointment wasn't until like 2 weeks after that, so then I still just had to wait. Go to the doctor, sister's fine, everything looks good. Oh, and let me also add that around 6 weeks, she started making me feel like absolute dog crap all the time. I was sick, I was tired, I was nauseous. I wasn't actually throwing up sick. I just felt like I needed to throw up. I was just nauseous all day long, every day. So she started picking on me pretty much immediately. I think I was 6 weeks on the day. And honestly, even now I'm 24 weeks pregnant, and depending on the day, sometimes I still feel like absolute dog crap. Which is completely different than my pregnancy with Casey because I was never sick with him. I never felt bad. Like, I was perfectly fine. I was just growing a human. I fear we have a drama queen on our hands. But I did only spot that one time. Like, it wasn't over a couple of days or anything. It was literally just that one time at Christmas, on Christmas Day around lunchtime. Another thing about this pregnancy, I've been a lot more anxious, especially the first 20 weeks of my pregnancy than I was with Casey. Don't get me wrong, I was anxious when I was pregnant with Casey, but this go around, I was just a lot more anxious. Up until literally when I walked into our anatomy scan, which we did get news at our anatomy scan that there's 2 spots on her brain. I don't remember what he called them. It was something about it being the liquid that her brain sits in, like the fluid that your brain sits in. It was just a little bit thicker than normal, like it thicker than it should be. I don't know. Doctor said that it would resolve on its own by the 3rd trimester or before I had her or something like that. But my anxiety had been so bad, and literally right before we walked into like the ultrasound room for that appointment, it was like God just flipped a switch. Like, you're literally perfectly fine. And so I really haven't been anxious since then, even since getting that news, because we didn't know that she had whatever she has until after that appointment. And honestly, I feel like you have to make a decision, and I feel like it's not really talked about a whole lot, but I think that you mentally have to make a decision when you're trying for a baby or you end up getting pregnant, that no matter what, you want your baby. Like, there's nothing that could be wrong with my baby that would make me not want them. You know what I mean? That's not my decision to make. Like, however God's sending me a baby is how I'm receiving that baby. There is nothing more that I love in this world. There's nothing more that I love in this world than this. Just mothering. Were those dots on my face?
Yeah.
Blush. My next appointment will be my glucose test, which I'm honestly a little bit nervous about this go round. I passed it with Casey. Like, I think it was like with flying colors. Like, I don't remember it being close or anything like that. I'm just a little bit nervous this go round. I don't know why. I'm gonna be big mad if sister is giving me gestational diabetes, because honestly, I'd be more surprised if she hasn't, if I don't have them, because she's been such a booty hole with this whole pregnancy. I also feel like mentally I've been struggling a lot more, not just this pregnancy, just more than I ever have, like up here, but it comes and goes so fast, like throughout the day, or like depending on the week or whatever. Like, I don't know. But it doesn't even have anything to do surrounding the pregnancy at this point, because like I'm not anxious anymore about sister. I just feel like I'm not doing okay. Not most days. I don't know. It literally just depends on the day. Sometimes I am on cloud 9. Other times I would be better off 6 feet under. But also, I don't let people see that. Like, people would have no idea if I'm having a bad day. So I don't really know about that, but I am starting to realize how down bad I was postpartum with Casey, and like how I didn't really have people checking in on me when I had Casey. I mean, I had just turned 21 a month before I had him. We were living about 30 minutes out of town while we were building this house. Jay's mama, and then my aunt, who I call my mama. Like, most of the time when I'm referring to my mama, I'm talking about my aunt, because I have like I have my biological parents, and then I have my aunt and uncle, who I call or refer to them as my parents too. So
Your parents?
my parents, your Nana and Bearpaw. Which, I mean, it's fine. Like, I was okay. Like, Casey was a really good baby, so I really didn't need, like, help with him. But, like, I think I needed help. That is one thing I'm nervous about this time. But also, at the same time, I'm not really nervous because I know what to look out for. Like, when I was postpartum with Casey, I literally, like, would not shower because I was terrified to take my eyes off of him. Or if I did shower, I would put him on the bathroom floor on one of his little, like, cushiony things and keep my eyes on him the whole time I was showering.
See my baby.
Are you gonna save those for sister's hair?
Yeah.
Okay, we can save those and put those on sister's hair when she gets here. I don't know if people just didn't notice or if they didn't care or if they had their... I mean, everybody always has their own shit going on. So, like, I get it. Life. I mean, I was just in my own trenches at that point. And another thing, like, I had Jay's mama last time, like, when I was pregnant with Casey and postpartum with him and stuff. And she passed away in 2023. Casey was about 7 or 8 months old. She used to keep him. And when she passed away, that's when I started staying home keeping kids. Or that's when I started staying home, and then I started keeping kids because I wanted to stay home with him. And I still needed to make money. She had 3 boys. She had Jay and then Jay's 2 older brothers. And then she had 2 grandsons when she passed. And now we've since added 2 more boys to the mix. So I know that she would be over the moon with sister coming. I'm gonna cry and I'm not doing that right now. I'm not doing that right now. I really don't even know how to explain what it feels like I'm going through up here though, because it's really not like a certain thing. At first I thought it was just my anxiety, and then since the anxiety part has gone away, I'm like, what is wrong with you? But it'll literally just hit me out of nowhere, and like some things feel like the end of the world. Like genuinely feel like the end of the world. And it really won't be like that serious, which I don't want to like invalidate. I don't want to like sweep how I'm feeling under the rug either, because like just because I'm pregnant and more emotional doesn't mean that my feelings aren't valid. You know what I mean? I don't know. So I don't know. So I had a C-section with Casey, and if I'm being completely honest, I don't remember the exact reason I had to have a C-section with him. My water broke at 6 o'clock that morning. I went in. I was like a 4 or a 5 when I got there. I didn't want the epidural or anything. I ended up getting the epidural. Then I stopped progressing, maybe. But then they said that he was face up, like sunny side up. His face was facing this way instead of facing my back, because babies come out face down. And they told me I couldn't have him like that because it would have broken his neck. But I've seen videos since I've had him that people say that they delivered him just fine. So I don't know if it's just my doctor and his preference. I don't know. He came out at 10:07 via C-section. So, I mean, my water hadn't even been broke for, what, 12, 14, 16 hours. So I really don't know my reason for having a C-section with Casey to begin with. But I know when we started talking about how this baby's going to be exiting my body, my doctor said, you're the perfect candidate for a VBAC. I'm terrified to push a baby out. I do not want to push a baby out of my vagina. I don't want to have another C-section because I do want 1 or 2 more kids, and I don't want to be sliced open 4 times. But I also am terrified to push a baby out of my vagina. And I'm also terrified to sit there in labor for hours and hours and hours and try to push a baby out and then end up in another C-section. But if she's too big, I am not trying to push a big baby out. That's the plan as of right now, is to try for a VBAC as long as my water breaks on its own before 39 weeks, because I'm not going to be induced. If she's too big, I'm not going to try to have her. There was something else, I think. I want to make that sound like just a C-section. Like they literally slice your whole body open to take a human out. I also feel like anytime I say like I'm scared to push a baby out, it's always invalidated by people saying like, oh, well, I did it, so you can do it. Well, I'm sorry. We are built different. Everybody's body's completely different. Just because you did it does not mean that I can do it. That's another thing that's been pissing me off a whole lot more lately, and I'm really trying to not hold my tongue as much. Like if somebody makes a comment and it makes me feel any type of way, I want to address it right then and there. Like, what do you mean? Like, why would you say that? I was at a family function. I think it was Easter. And somebody walked up to me and they're like, oh, you're so tiny. So why would you say that? Why would you say that? Okay, because you see me once a year and you know what I look like all the time. So this is probably going to sound funny since I'm saying I'm scared to push a baby out. I'm not scared to push a baby out. Like, I know my body was meant to do that. I wanted to have Casey completely natural, like no epidural or anything. And God said, haha, psych, you don't get what you want. I really don't want an epidural this time, but apparently I have to have one for a VBAC in case something goes wrong and they need to do an emergency C-section. But I'm very much, my brain works in an all or nothing type of way. So like if I'm gonna push a baby out, I want to do it completely on my own. So I'm 24, almost 25 weeks. I won't be pregnant past 39 weeks. So that means I have, 14 weeks left at most. We have no idea what we're gonna name her. I don't know the vibe of her room. I don't know how I'm gonna be painting it or decorating it or anything like that. I'm a little bit scared of postpartum this time, if I'm being completely honest. I am glad I'm starting to realize how down bad I was with Casey. So I know what to look out for. I can better communicate how I'm feeling this go around postpartum. Remind myself it's okay to not be okay. I'll probably do another one of these videos in about 10 weeks from now and recap the next 10 weeks, whatever that's gonna look like. Anyways, thank y'all for getting ready with me, and I'll see y'all later.